Mama, it has been
It's hot.
a heat stroke out here in these pots.
Woo!
Like the South,
100 degrees.
it's on something right now.
Crazy.
I don't know what it's trying to prove,
The
but
humidity.
it is hotter than Hades in this bitch.
It's the humidity, the heat. I don't see how brides are getting married.
I haven't had a good hair day since December. No, it is so hot in the South. I don't know where y'all are from listening to this, but if you're getting married in the South, June is honestly what we consider like the end of the season because not a lot of brides get married in July and August. It is just miserable. It's miserable
Horrible.
for you. It's miserable for your guests. You're sweating in this gown, all these guys in their poor suits. But if you are getting married and you are a summer bride, this episode is a little bit for you because we definitely want to talk what you can do to make it a better experience for everyone.
Yes.
First and foremost, I think when you're planning a wedding or any sort of like event where you're having people attend and you're putting it on, you should always be thinking about the guest experience.
100%.
And that goes for a wedding. So in my opinion, like you should definitely be thinking about your guests when it comes to the heat. If you're having an outdoor wedding specifically, it is beautiful here. We have so many attractions, water, oak trees. People want outdoor weddings. I don't blame you.
Loved it.
But you definitely want to be considering like what time of day you're getting married. Is it direct sunlight? Do you have any sort of shade? If not, consider umbrellas. There's really pretty ones now. You could even buy the little carousels for people. You can get them off Amazon.
Fans.
Yes.
Bring fans, baskets of fans for people to hand out
They're
to your
cute
guests.
now. It's the
I
girls
keep
love
'em.
them. I keep them too.
Every time. I think I have like 5 of them
I know,
at my
I think
house.
I do too. The fans are beautiful and you can like put them on your seats and like decorate them really cute. So definitely fans and then water stations, y'all. Hydrate. It is so hot and humid. It does not take long to be sweating. No matter what you're wearing as a guest, hydration is huge. So having a water station or a drink station when people walk in for a ceremony is a nice touch. Obviously, if you want to add in the champagne, that doesn't hurt.
Everybody
But
loves champagne.
everybody loves a little champs now. Definitely water stations, hydrate. It's a good touch. You can even add some like cutesy little like fruit to it, make it look really summery, maybe something with your colors. A lot of girls are doing like this yellow color right now, a little lemon.
You could even make it where you don't have to have your bartenders there early and like pay them for that extra time. You can make a cute like self-dispensable water.
Put some cups on a
station.
table with the big dispensers, some ice, and a
You
bunch
can
of
make
water.
it cute.
You
can
can
make
do
it cute.
lemonade, iced tea, but definitely have a hydration station for your guests. That's huge. Umbrellas and fans. That's a big one.
So-
It also rains.
Umbrellas are so cute at a
They're
ceremony.
so cute.
I love seeing umbrellas like in pictures. I've seen a lot of Instagram posts of people
It's
having
super
umbrellas at
popular
their
right
wedding.
now.
It's so cute with like little tassels dangling down.
It's bringing like what is it, the 50s or the 60s vibe? I never know like the time frame, but it's like very vintage.
the stripe, like even
Yes, the scallop
I
look
love
is
'em.
so in right now. You can definitely elevate your ceremony by just even putting the umbrellas. And then honestly, I've even seen some venues offer like misting fans, which are really nice.
Oh, wait, that's fancy. That's nice.
Because honestly, like even if you're having an outdoor ceremony, it is nice to have an indoor reception at least. Give
Yes.
some reprieve to your
A
guests
little
with
bit of a
AC.
break.
But if you don't, like misting fans are nice because usually like from the ceremony to cocktail hour, they're pretty much outside.
Yeah.
And then they're not coming inside until the dinner. So they're spending a good couple hours outside. It can be warm for sure. So just having them in mind when you are planning your wedding is huge.
Yes. Also having rain in mind when you're planning your wedding and like a backup plan for that. Like if your venue provides a tent for you or if you need to rent one and pay for that deposit to have one as a backup.
I would definitely say when you are starting your journey and you're venue shopping, I would be asking that question right off the rip. Do you have a rain backup plan? If they don't, then you are unfortunately having to reserve a tent. I have a ton of brides where they'll hire me for a month of coordination. I'm coming in kind of last minute. And at that point, I'm like, we really have to like rent a tent. Like there's not much you can do and it's not in the budget. It's a non-negotiable at that
You
point.
can't risk it.
You can't risk it. But also they're really expensive and it's expensive to rent even if you don't use them. So essentially, I don't know what it's like for every place around the country, but in South Carolina, the standard is around $500 to $700 minimum just to rent a tent. I know it really does like put like it hurts
Golly.
your soul.
And to not use it, ugh.
Even if you don't use it. So that's just a deposit. You're really putting down 50% and it's not refunded whether or not you use it or not. I will say though, a very helpful tip, and I see a lot of brides doing this. If you are getting married on like a Friday or a Saturday or a Sunday, and there's another couple getting married the day before you or after you, you can contact the other planner and you can go a little splitsy on the tents or even lighting or draping, or depends on like, I've even seen brides go as far as like, you know, florals, which that could be kind of iffy. A lot of times you don't have the same color scheme and flowers sitting out for a full 24 hours. They're not going to look the same.
That is
but
so
I have
smart.
seen this happen a ton with tenting. I have a lot of my brides who are like, hey, would you mind reaching out to the venue and seeing like who the couple's planner is the day before or the day after, because whether or not you use the tent, like you can still split the deposit.
Because it's like a weekend rental, basically.
In order for the tent company to like come out and put the tent up, there's a delivery fee. So
Right.
you would save on that delivery fee if you go in on it with somebody else.
Oh my gosh.
So if you're somebody who like absolutely knows like, hey, I'm just going to get the tent, I want to drape it, because you can't, that's not something you can do last minute. A lot of times the tenting companies will allow you to make like the rain plan a few days out or something, or it might even be a few weeks. But with draping, it's not like that. You have to have, there's a lot of styling that goes into it. There's a lot more planning that goes into it. So you can't do that last minute. You have to plan ahead.
Yeah.
So I'll have some brides who are like, we're getting a tent. We already know that. And so if two couples know for sure they're going to use a tent, you can definitely go in and do a little halfsies.
Wait, that's smart. Good hack. Note that.
It's a good way to save money because tents are very, very, very expensive. And
100%.
honestly, they're not super attractive. Like nobody wants the tent.
That's what deterred me, is because I just hated the way that tents look.
Yeah.
And I wanted that like nice flowy, whatever it's called.
They're the ones that just like look drapey, and
Drapey
pretty and they're
like
open.
aesthetically pleasing.
You kind of don't feel like they're cloth. And so
Yeah.
they don't feel like you're like in a tent. Because
Like
even
you have to have a tent.
I would say that if your venue doesn't offer the rain plan, you definitely want to be considering renting a tent, putting that into your budget and just accounting for that right off.
Right off the rip.
Yeah.
Right off the rip.
Another thing with tenting, like you obviously have to like get that contracted in. We have hurricanes here. A lot of places in the United States get like bad weather or like natural disasters and things like that. You want to be checking with your vendors on your venue, your vendors on contracts and what that entails, because
Every vendor should have a contract. Also, let me just say that. Like, you should sign contracts with everyone that is working your wedding
every
as
single
liability.
person that you are giving money to. I even have some brides sign them if I'm even doing it at no cost, because it still protects you down the road of like, I am offering you this service and I just want it to be very clearly laid out. These are the stipulations and
This
the
is what I'm
guidelines.
providing you. This is
But
what I
especially
expect.
if there is a money transaction, you 1,000% need to be having a contract with every single vendor.
Yep.
It protects you. It protects them. If anything were to happen down the road, I mean, I hear horror stories online constantly, and it always boils down to people not having contracts.
Yep. And make sure you read through it and you don't just sign it because you want the vendor. Because I know with my band, we had to provide a tent for them. Obviously, with the band, you kind of want to anyways, but they had to have a backup plan for rain. I mean, we had to find a tent. We had to rent a tent for them.
Which is
Specifically
extra
for them.
expense
Yeah.
on top of already an expensive
Yep.
band. Every vendor should have a contract in place that has some sort of cancellation rule, whether it be for weather or just somebody cancels. There should always be some sort of backup plan for you. If they get sick, you want them to have the responsibility of booking another vendor or having somebody on like the back burner that can come in and step in on your wedding day. My photographer called me on my rehearsal dinner. Not even kidding. This is a real life story.
No.
She did our engagement photos. She was great. She called me the night of my rehearsal dinner and was like, hey, I'm so sorry, but I have the stomach bug and I cannot come. And at that point, I'm like, okay, well, there's nothing I can do. Like, truly, there's nothing I can
Well,
do.
it's not like you knew like her backup. Like,
But she was like, don't worry. I have another photographer coming. She's great. She was honestly better. Like, I hate to say that, but she had more experience. I liked her edits better. Like, we got really, really lucky, and no hate or shade to like the woman who would have done it. I'm sure she would have nailed it, like knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
But I'm just so grateful that she had that in her contract, because you do not want to wind up without a photographer on your wedding day. That's crazy. Also, like, Natural disasters happen. We have tornadoes, hurricane. We have tons of hurricanes.
And hurricanes pop up like that. Like, you know of them randomly, like maybe 1 week before your wedding.
But there's nothing you can do at that point. Like,
no.
it's not happening 3 months beforehand. It's happening like the week before or something. And it could do a lot of damage. It could honestly put venues out for months. So it's not even just like if the actual storm hits you, it could be all the aftermath that affects you down the road. I mean, you look at Asheville. It's
Asheville. Asheville brides had to completely regroup.
Yeah. You look at us, we had a random snowstorm in January of last year. We get like one snowstorm every 7 years where we actually get like,
and that
sticks.
never happens.
I had a bride that we had to reschedule her entire wedding for later this year because it was so icy and it just wasn't safe for people to get there.
And people in the South don't know how to act when it snows.
We don't know how to act when it freaking sprinkles. Are you kidding me?
Everything closes.
And we don't have the gear to get all of that stuff off the roads.
No.
Like, you just want safety for your guests and for yourself. And it wasn't safe. So we made the call to reschedule. But thank God she had a contract in place, and every single vendor had a clause in their contracts that stated, like, if there's an act of God and we can't control it, we will reschedule the best that we can for a later date. Yeah. But with hurricanes, you 100% want to have that. You don't want somebody not being liable for rescheduling because they're not going to reimburse you. I can promise you that. Like, there's no vendor that has anything in their contracts that's saying that they are going to give you your money back unless they are canceling on you for like a reason that's just like, crazy.
There's so many different like strings and vendors you have to like sign things for and pull them in for just one date for your wedding. But you want to make sure that you have that contract for every single one.
Cannot stress enough. Contracts are the number one thing. If you literally don't listen to another thing on this podcast, every single one should have a contract with you.
Not only just for their butt, but for your butt as well. It might save you in some cases, like a natural disaster, rain, whatever.
Somebody goes into labor.
But no matter what happens, it's your day. You're marrying the love of your life, and it's going to be a great day.
That's the most important takeaway. I mean, I've had brides just get dumped on, poured, their whole reception ruined, and they are out there living in their best life, drinking, enjoying their party. It is about you marrying the person that you love, and everyone around you celebrating that love. It is so special when I see these couples get up and thank their guests, and they're like, it does not go unnoticed to us that y'all traveled and spent money and took time away from your families. Like, you look around that room and you realize that there will never be another time in your life that these specific human beings are all together in one space and they're celebrating you.
They're literally there for you. So like, soak that in.
Don't freaking sweat the small shit. Like, you can't predict the weather. You can't make it not rain on your wedding day. No. And honestly, they say it's good luck for rain. If it rains on your wedding day, it's good luck. I really do truly think that's just people trying to make you feel good.
Make you feel better. But it's okay.
It's have okay to enjoy your wedding. You spent so much time agonizing over this day. Yes. You've lost sleep over it. You've spent money. Some people have gotten second jobs. You've gone into debt. Like, whatever it is, like, just enjoy it. There's nothing you can do when you get there.
When that was my thought process.
Nothing should derail it.
I planned everything on my wedding day. If something goes wrong, it's not my fault.
Well, honestly, no one really knows either. And people just have sympathy. Like, if it rains on your wedding day, everyone is like, yeah.
Man. And they help. They might even help.
But we're going to have fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've had people literally like running out in the rain, like grabbing ceremony chair. Like, it puts it in perspective for you, but the day is not ruined just because of a snowstorm or a rainstorm or a hurricane. If you have to reschedule the wedding,
literally,
everything's going to be okay.
Even if it throws your timeline off a little bit, it will be okay.
Yeah. The thing is if you have a good planner or coordinator who's creating your timeline, we're putting buffers in anyway. We're anticipating things going wrong before they go wrong. We have that experience. We kind of understand how the day flows, and we know how much time certain things take. Obviously, we're not psychics, but we can do our best to kind of understand. Like, otherwise I'd be predicting the weather. And I'd be like, don't book it on that day. Hurricane Lindsay's going through. She's going to blow this place up.
Hurricane Lindsay.
I think, like, if you have a good coordinator that's putting together your timeline, like, we're putting buffers in anyway. There should be nothing that's, like, derailing your day. No. If you're having your ceremony outside and it's calling for rain, like, at 4 and your ceremony's at 4:30, like we only have so much time we can kind of like buffer in to be like, okay, we can push your ceremony a little bit to give you this dream ceremony that you want. We have to be also cautious of like, hey, you only also have this venue until 10. We want to get some dancing in. You do have to eat dinner at some point.
Say with like planning your ceremony and sunset photos and daylight savings time, like those are things you have to account for.
Yeah. Rule of thumb, when I am planning to put together like somebody's timeline, because it should always be custom. There's a particular woman on TikTok who I'm like enraged by, because I'm like, stop just being like, oh, your ceremony's at 4:30. Here's your timeline. I'm like, no, ma'am. That's everyone
different.
is different. It's so custom to your wedding day. Because here's the thing. The very first thing you're doing that day is hair and makeup. You're not telling me that, oh, in 3 hours you're going to be done with hair and makeup, because you don't even know how many services are being done.
If you have 9, 10, 11, 12
you don't
bridesmaids,
know how many girls are getting each service. You don't know how long it takes the makeup and hair artist to do those services. Like, there's a reason why hair and makeup, photographers, and a coordinator all put together separate timelines, and we work together cohesively to make sure that your full and final timeline is accurate and like it's realistic. Honestly, when people are just like, oh, this is just a timeline that you can use, I want to be like, that is honestly, don't tell people that, because you're setting them up for failure.
Well, and you could take that timeline and maybe try to fit your people into it, and what your hairstylist can do and what your makeup artist can do and when your photographer's arriving, but it might not work. Use it as maybe a guide. Like, hey, this is when my ceremony's starting.
Yes.
Can I be done by 3:30?
There's a couple of major things that you need to know in order to create a timeline. It's when hair and makeup is arriving, when hair and makeup needs to be done. And that's usually that relies heavily on when the photographer is arriving and how many hours you have the photographer for. Also, how long it takes the photographer to shoot certain things. I've seen photographers who can knock out a layout and all the detail shots in 30 minutes. I've seen others that take closer to an hour. It just depends on your photographer, and only your photographer will know how long that is going to take them. Then you need to know when the ceremony time is happening, because you also need to know probably an hour prior to that, we have to hide the bride and groom or whoever's doesn't need to be seen by the guests, because guests will start to arrive at that time.
And when the sun is setting, if it's daylight savings time,
if you are doing a first look, you're doing all of your photos ahead of time. So you need extra time before the ceremony to knock all of those out. If you're not doing a first look, then you need to be making sure that you have enough sunlight left in the day so that after your ceremony, you can knock all of those photos out. That's where a timeline is very crucial, because if your ceremony's late or it goes behind, it's going into your actual photo time. Daylight savings. If you are getting married before March whatever and after November whatever, you want to be looking that up, because you want to make sure when is the sun setting. Like, Google it. Literally, it's your best friend. Google when is the sun setting on whatever date you're getting married.
If it's daylight savings time and the sun is setting, say at what, 5, 6 o'clock?
I know.
And you're having your wedding, you really need to make sure your timeline before that is very
tight.
Yeah.
Also, if you're having a ceremony that's at a church, is it a full mass? Is it going to take a full hour? What is the logistics between that venue and your reception venue? How long do you have your reception time for? Not everyone's getting married in the same location as their reception. So you need to account for the logistics beforehand, the travel time, buffer that in for sure, because there's traffic. There's always an accident. There's always something going on. What day are you getting married? Is it a Friday? Is there rush hour traffic? On a Saturday, is there going to be beach traffic? There's so much to think about. That's why when she's sitting here and she's like, oh, you're getting married at 3:30. Here's your timeline. I want to flip that in the face and be like, no, do not listen to her. Hire a coordinator and have them put together a timeline that's custom to you. That's why you're paying me.
Lay out your non-negotiables. If you want a first look, maybe you should get married after daylight savings time when the sun sets at, say, like 6, 7, 8 o'clock, because that would give you more time to get stuff done before you have your ceremony.
For sure. Because we did not do a first look, and we got married November 10th. I'm like, when's my wedding day? November 10th. And it was the first weekend after daylight savings. And I'm like, crap. I have to have my ceremony at 4 in order to be done by 4:30. The sun sets at 5 something, and then this is the exact amount of time that we have to get photos done. And I lived and died by that freaking timeline, because I wanted golden hours so bad.
And that's what you have to account for first. Like you said, your ceremony time, you just need to like stick that down.
You got to nail that down like right away.
Yeah.
Because you're also like, once it's on the invitation, like that is your
It's official.
ceremony time.
That's what you're doing.
It's very important before you pick out a ceremony time that you are looking at your wedding day and when the sun is setting. And your photographer should be able to come up with a rough draft timeline of how long it's going to take them and how long they also need to be there. I've also like chatted with brides when I get to them and I'm like, hey, you need to, like, realistically, you need to be adding more time onto your photographer. There's no realistic way that they're arriving at 12 and getting all of this done by the time your ceremony hits at this time.
And that's why I would start with the ceremony time. I think ours started at 5 and I built it backwards. And I cut out the first look because we didn't really have time for it. I cut out some other extra things that I would have loved to have done. But like, I had to have time to get ready. Yeah. I had to have time to do this and that and this and that.
If you are not hiring a coordinator, shame on you, honestly. But your coordinator should also be able to help you. I had a sweet little bride. She's not getting married until November. I'm her month of coordinator. So technically I would not be getting with her until 4 to 6 weeks. She messaged me and was like, hey, I'm so sorry to bother you, but is there any, I'm just like stressing out. I have a couple of questions about my ceremony. I can't really like make these decisions until I have a timeline. I've never done this before. Girl, I'm going to get on the phone with you and I'm going to help you. Because honestly, it's better for everyone to be on the same page. Once those invitations are sent, you cannot change it.
No,
so
you can't.
Ask somebody who's willing to help you. That's another question I'd be asking your coordinator. Like, hey, if I have questions throughout, like, are you willing to work with me a little bit before that 4 to 6 week if you've only hired somebody for a month of coordination? Hopefully that helps. We're going to jump into a new segment.
Yes, brought to you by our sponsor.
Whispering.
Just kidding.
You guys were manifesting that, though.
It's called Stop Doing That. Stop it. Stop it. Guests, stop showing up early to weddings. Stop showing up early to weddings.
Nobody wants you there. No one. Not the bride because she doesn't want to be hidden away for an hour. Not the freaking venue. Not the photographer because they haven't even taken pictures of this well-designed, curated tablescape yet.
They don't want your purse on there.
1,000% not the planner because I don't want you breathing down my neck for an hour. What do you want me to do? Why are you here? Like, why are you here an hour before the ceremony? The ceremony says 4 o'clock. Show up at 3:30.
Yep.
Don't show up any earlier.
You're wasting your time showing up at 3 o'clock if the ceremony starts at 4.
Nobody wants you there that early.
No. But if brides, if you want your ceremony to start at 4 and you put 4 o'clock on the invitation, the ceremony needs to start at 4. The ceremony doesn't need to start at 4:30. So brides, stop doing that. That's another point.
Yeah.
Stop putting a earlier time to make your guests arrive early because
I've had so many brides do this recently. Like they've been like, hey, so should I be putting 4 o'clock if my ceremony is at 4 or should I be putting 3:30? Because I know that my family's going to be late. My family's always late to everything. That's not a thing. It's a wedding, so they need to be on time. Second of all, we're not accounting for people being late, and that's how we're structuring things. We're accounting on people being adults and showing up on time. And if they're arriving 30 minutes prior, that's perfect. That's why we start prelude music 30 minutes early. That's why we have cocktails ready for you. The champagne watering station that we talked about earlier. We have all of that ready 30 minutes prior.
Like we talked about in our episode last week, put it on your wedding website that you would like for guests to show up at least 30 minutes prior to 4 o'clock. Word that in there. Like say,
hey, there's traffic or there's other things that you can't anticipate. Please arrive 30 minutes early, but do not arrive an hour early.
No.
And do not be putting the wrong time on your invitation because all the people that are already going to arrive early are arriving even earlier and then they're in the way or they're bored or it also goes back to the guest experience. It's not a good experience for guests if they're given the wrong ceremony time because then they're looking at us like, why is the ceremony starting so late? What did you do? You're the problem. I'm like, no, I didn't make this invitation. I don't know what's happening. I'm just the coordinator for the day. So sorry about you. Enjoy some water though. And please don't put your shit down on the table yet.
Here's our water station.
Guests, stop pulling your phone out in the middle of the ceremony aisle to take videos of the couple when they've hired professionals to do that. Also, when an officiant has gone out of his way or her way to tell you specifically that the guest or that the couple has requested a unplugged ceremony because they have hired such people.
Thousands and thousands of dollars.
You guys. Thousands of dollars. Like thousands and thousands of dollars for professional photographers, videographers, content creators.
They don't
We
want
don't need
you.
grandma's cell phone in the middle of the aisle taking some wonky photos.
But also, too, brides and grooms, if you think that your family or your friends are going to want to whip their phones out and take a picture of this and that, tell your officiant to get them to take their phone out at some point during the ceremony.
Yes,
take a picture and then put it away.
Designate a little thing in there where, like, as soon as you walk down the aisle, everyone's allowed to take out their photo really quick, take a quick video or photo or whatever they want, and then put it away. There's still going to be somebody that discreetly... Stop doing that. It's so rude. And trust me, the couple does not want you to do that. That's why they're specifically asking you to not do it.
Brides, stop asking girls to be in your wedding as just a filler. If
I did this.
Your groomsmen, I almost did.
Well, it backfired on me because then I had 2 bridesmaids I had to fire.
If you have 12 groomsmen, that's a lot. But if you have 12 groomsmen, don't feel like you have to have 12 bridesmaids just because you want to.
I'm paying motherfuckers to be my friend at this point.
You're going to regret it.
You will, because you're going to look back at the photos and be like, oh, I don't talk to Cynthia anymore. She's a raging, you know what?
Yeah.
Oh, she did that one thing that one time.
I think I had like 9 and Austin had like 13.
Yeah, your husband had a ton. Was he in a frat or something? Get
How
out of
did
here.
you know?
Probably by the way he was dancing. I was like, okay, calm down. Calm down over here. Austin.
And their little...
Shout out Austin Brown. We see you.
We love you, Pookie.
Our biggest fan over here, other than my husband. That was not in a frat.
No, our 2 biggest fans.
And you can definitely tell he's on a frat. Yes, no, stop doing that. You will regret it. I tell you this as somebody who did this myself at my own wedding. I wanted it to be even just for like aesthetics because I'm a psychopath and I like symmetry, but I was like, oh, photos.
It's aesthetically pleasing.
And honestly, it was fine. My husband had way more friends. He grew up here. He has friends from like kindergarten. I'm like, I couldn't even name one child that was in my kindergarten class.
No.
You don't have to have the same amount on either side. So do not feel pressured to be adding on extra bridesmaids just for the sake of having like
Don't
even
do it.
amounts. You will regret it. Trust me.
You have to
will
pay more
regret
too.
it.
Don't do it.
Also, vendors. Stop wearing yoga pants, sandals, anything that's not professional. If you wouldn't wear it into an office, don't wear it to a wedding. Some of them are black tie, cocktail attire. Like
That's what I was
that's insane. You're literally the most seen person. You're in the middle of the aisle taking photos or doing whatever. Stop wearing something.
It's not discreet. We see you.
It's also just like, it's offensive. I'm like, really? You're showing up in something that's so unprofessional. Like, you're not going to a gym to get a quick 30-minute sweat session. You're literally working for someone, and this is your brand or somebody else's brand that you're representing. Like, show up and have a little bit of pride in your business and in yourself.
That's what I would base it off of.
Like, that's crazy. And honestly, it's in my contract that like I will wear black or brown, but I always wear dresses to weddings. They're longer. So I'm like, I know I'm going to be bending down a bunch. Like I do wear nice tennis shoes.
They're airy.
Because I'm trying to be comfortable because I'm doing a lot. I have to be able to like function and like, I'm not wearing heels to your wedding by any means, but I'm not showing up in Birkenstocks and yoga pants. Like I'm about to go to some hippie like concert.
Why do they always have to wear black?
I don't know. That's just like a thing.
It's just kind of like an unwritten.
Yeah, it's just like a thing. I think the whole point of it was to like be in the background and not be,
I guess
like not stand out.
Yeah.
But honestly, like if you're having a spring wedding and everyone's in like spring colors, you kind of do stand,
stand
out.
out
'Cause you're in black.
anyways.
So I don't really know.
Let's switch that up. Someone get it going.
I hate it. Personally, black is not my color. If you guys listen to the color analysis episode that we had.
It's not in your color
Black
palette?
is not my color. So I actually bought a nice brown dress. I wear the brown dress now to my weddings. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the black, but it's if you're gonna wear it, just don't freaking wear yoga pants.
Right.
Like
No
wear a
yoga
black
pants.
dress or black pants and a nice shirt or something. Just look presentable when you go to somebody's wedding.
100%.
And caterers and planners. I see this from both sides because I do planning and I do content creation. I am a huge proponent of this for my media team. We need to be eating first. Like if you're having a plated meal, I kind of get it a little bit just because they want to make sure everyone's fed before you. But if it's a buffet, like let your vendors eat first because we are usually taking video of your speeches and they're happening in the middle of dinner a lot of times.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't make sense for us to go last because then we're really not eating because then we're taking you guys back out for sunset photos or whatever it is. And a lot of times like we're not getting food or we're not getting fed at a timely manner.
Yeah, you have to be there for almost like every little thing.
Yeah. Like by
during
the time
day.
a photographer shows up, they're not really getting a break or stopping until the end of the night when they're done, because you're literally like, there's something throughout the entire timeline where like you're needed other than dinner. So it's like that little time frame where the couple is eating and everyone else is eating. You're not taking photos because nobody wants photos of people shoving food in their face.
No.
So it's like, that's why we need to be eating first, or when the couple is eating, because then we can scarf down our food and we can go and take them back out, or we can do speeches or continue on to the night. So please stop making us eat last. It honestly screws up the timeline a little bit, but we're not going to let that. So we honestly just don't eat, and that sucks.
And maid of honors, stop grabbing the bouquet before you fluff the bride's dress. So
you guys look like idiots. You're sitting over here with one hand, like trying to fluff a dress. And I'm like, what are we doing? You're supposed to fluff the dress first and then take the bouquet. We practiced this in a rehearsal.
Yes.
We practiced this twice in rehearsal.
Yes.
Why did we do a rehearsal?
The day before.
Why do we do a rehearsal if no one listens to anything that we rehearsed?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Guys, stop putting
Didn't work
shit
for
in
me
your
at mine.
pockets. Stop keeping things in your pockets. Take things out of your pockets. It looks better. There's so many things. We could go on and on.
On and on and on and on.
Well, we do want to talk about how to make your ceremony run smoothly, because we're kind of on the theme of ceremonies. We're talking a lot about timelines and all the things. So officiants, please be doing this. I know that it's super popular right now to have like your cousin or your brother or your aunt and uncle or whatever officiate you. You don't want to spend the money to have somebody who's professionally officiated weddings before do it. So you just have some Joe Schmo get ordained online or whatever. They shouldn't be winging it by any means. This is like a very special occasion.
Yes.
It can derail a timeline if we're talking about timelines, because if they don't know what they're doing, they're long-winded, they're just like talking to talk. That can get a little crazy. But more specifically, it is super important that you need to be telling people to stand for the bride and to sit.
Because
those people will stand an entire ceremony. I've seen multiple weddings do it. And I'm like, sit, sit, sit. And they're just like standing for 30 minutes. And I'm like, oh my God, you have to tell people to sit. They don't know. They're looking to you, officiant, to direct them.
That's the hardest part, I think, is like, everyone kind of naturally stands when they see the bride.
No, they don't. If you do not tell them,
a lot
of times they are not hearing like the music change, or they don't know what's happening. The only people who know what's happening are really the planner, the DJ, and the officiant. And he needs to be like, please stand for the bride. The music changes, but you don't know what's happening next. And a lot of these people are getting crazy now where they have like multiple song changes. I had one where it's like prelude music, then it's ceremony music, then the groom walks down, it's a different song, then the groomsmen, and I'm like, what are we doing? This is like 17 songs and the bride hasn't even shown up yet. So it's like, you really do have to direct people and just tell somebody to stand and sit. It's not hard. Just add it into your little like notes, whatever.
And move out of the way when they kiss.
Yes. But also couples, I always recommend that you hold the kiss longer than it feels comfortable, because we do need time for the officiant to get out of the way and for that picture or video to be captured. Also, hold each other's hands when you get down to the aisle. You're honestly probably thinking of a million things. It's very nerve-wracking. I think I blacked out during my ceremony, to be honest. But it was super nice that my officiant, he was our pastor, and he could kind of sense that I had like a little bit of nerves. And he did have a moment where he like turned us and it was like, just look out to your guests. Like, just look out to all of these people who have come to celebrate you guys. This is such a special moment. Just take it in. And it literally did calm my nerves. And it gave me like a moment to be like, okay, we're good. Like, this is it. We finally got here. Like, now we can just enjoy this. So like, really have your officiant incorporate that too, where you're taking like a sweet little moment to like take it all in, be present. Maybe this is when people take their phones out and they take a photo of you really quick, whatever. But then just remember to hold each other's hands. It honestly looks a little bit awkward when you don't, but it's also just like, it's your ceremony and you should be
naturally
intimate and just holding
grabbing each other's
hands. This is
hands.
why you give your bouquet away, so that you have hands free to hold and, do the ring thing and whatever. But
100%.
That's one big advice I would give to any officiant out there that's not normally doing this for a living.
I think another thing that'll calm your nerves is if you walk slowly. And it's something people don't think about, but if you do think about it, it calmed my nerves. Like, I took slower steps and it like allowed me to like breathe a little bit.
Walk slower than you think.
Then you really think so.
You should.
Literally.
Now, don't like
No,
inch down the
no.
aisle. Like, don't be a weirdo.
That's not what we said.
But like walk slower than you think you should, because you're
Yeah.
automatically going to be walking faster because you do have a little bit of nerves in you.
Yeah.
Another little tidbit, and this probably isn't super relevant to everyone out there, but if you can remember, like, be mindful of what the aisle is made of. Mine was outdoors and it was made of oyster shells, which was beautiful, but my veil got stuck on it every inch and it almost yanked out of my head on the way. So if you can kind of be a little cognizant of that, you can almost like choose the right length of veil that you'll need. I don't know. I had a cathedral veil. It was
and
gorgeous.
veil weights. I forgot my veil
But
weights.
it straight up like snagged a couple of times. And then at the end, when I went back,
I bet that was beautiful though.
well, you really didn't see it probably. Oh yeah, the oyster shells were beautiful, but yeah, it got snagged.
Yeah.
And also, if you're like having like, if it's out on the dirt or whatever, it's like, be mindful of those things. Like, it could get dirty, whatever. So that's a little tidbit too. But I love the walking slower. That's a huge tip because you will walk a lot faster than you think.
Yep.
A dip kiss, do not wing that. A dip kiss is very popular right now, and you don't have to do it. I would say do whatever feels natural to you and your significant other. But if you are going to do it, it's definitely something that needs to be practiced.
100%. Practice it over and over again. Don't just do it once. You need to also think through, you're going to have a bouquet in your hand and you're going to be wearing a big flowy veil train of a dress. You
Also,
need to
keep in
account
mind,
for
like,
that.
I'm 5'1" on a good day. My husband's 6'3".
Literally.
So like maneuvering around him or under, like I had to figure out like what was going to be the best way to do this so that I don't look like an idiot and I'm not tripping all over him. And also like having the bouquet right in the middle of your face when you like dip down, like it defeats the whole purpose of it. So definitely if you're going to do a dip kiss, practice it, but also don't do one if you don't want to.
Yeah, if you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't do one.
Do whatever feels natural to you, because honestly, it does make a difference. Like if you don't feel comfortable, kind of people sense that. The photos kind of like come out that way. You kind of feel that, right? And I think there's so many other like alternatives that are just as beautiful. So I think choosing something that just feels right.
Right. Even just like being happy, like holding your arms up, holding your bouquet up, being like cheerful.
Kissing
you don't even
just
have
in the middle of the aisle without doing that,
just
or like him kissing your hand.
Holding each other, like pulling each other in very
I even
tight.
saw this
like
TikTok recently, which was so cool. A photographer had mentioned it. This bride did not grab her bouquet back. She ended up walking down, holding her husband's hand, and then she like greeted her guests on the way back and like kind of held hands with like her grandparents and things like. And I was like, that is so
that's very
stinking
sweet.
cute.
That's very sweet.
So that's also an option that you can do. You don't have to do a dip kiss. You can do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
But whatever you're gonna do, make sure you practice it so that it looks somewhat rehearsed, or you don't. Because honestly, you'll also see people who are like, are you ready? Yeah. Like that was me and I'm like, okay, we're good. We're done. It's like, you look like a freaking idiot.
Ready?
Like, what are you doing? Like,
ready? Dip me. Another thing when you're walking down the aisle, if you have a specific point of a song you want to be playing, you need to be sure to tell your DJ or whoever's playing your exit song, entrance song, whatever, that you want that specific time of that song to play.
Yeah, timestamps are huge when it comes to music. I would not be just being like, hey, after the second chorus, like play, it's like just tell them like 207 or 153. Be as specific as you can, because the DJ wants to do it right. And also like it just makes it way smoother than you like them playing the song from the beginning and being like, okay, well, I don't want to walk out until 50 seconds. And then you have to figure out how fast you're going to walk to get there by 50 seconds. And I'm like, okay, that's not going to happen on wedding day. Just start the music when you're actually going to be walking. I've also been loving the idea of having like brides on, obviously brides are traditionally on the left side, grooms are on the right.
Right.
But I'm loving the fact that their families are switching sides.
Flipping.
I think it's cute.
We were supposed to, but something got all mixed up.
Your planner messed it up. Yeah.
Something got all mixed up. And I actually think so. Our groomsmen and bridesmaids were supposed to be flip-flopped, but then the best man, my husband's best man, stood on the wrong side. So then everybody just kind of filled in as is. So
his dad.
Yes.
God bless him. I love that man. He was the life of the party.
Shout out to Ricky Brown.
He was the life of the freaking party.
He's a hoot. He gets that leg going.
No, but the thing is like this goes back to like it's your wedding day and nobody knew but you that wasn't accurate.
Right.
It did not make a difference. Like,
But
it was not the end of the world.
But it's so nice, like the fact that my family could have seen my face and his family, and then his groomsmen could have seen his face, and my bridesmaids could have seen my face.
No,
So,
I am really loving that people are doing that for sure. It's super cute, and I think it makes the moms very happy whenever I suggest it.
and it's something to practice at a rehearsal.
Yeah,
You have to get that nailed in on the day of the rehearsal so that you can then do it on your wedding day.
Yeah, for sure.
Another thing to practice is handing the bouquet off. You have to practice handing the bouquet off because it's not as easy as it seems.
a big thing with like the practice part is also like the dad. The exchange of the dad, like the officiant having to say, again, this goes back to like, if your officiant has never done this before, this is something they need to be saying. Who gives this woman to be married to this man?
And we didn't practice
you want
that.
to state it, that's what it needs to be. Like, that's the general consensus. Then the dad will say, her mother and I, or whatever he wants to say. And then he will give a kiss to the bride, a hug, whatever, handshake. And then he goes and sits. And then at that point,
The bride
everyone
can-
else sits.
Yes.
And when the couple, they're either still facing the officiant, maybe, I don't know. It depends on what
Maybe
the
turn
officiant
to
is
each
doing.
other,
But if
something.
they're turning towards each other, that's when the maid of honor should be passing her bouquet back to the girl who is standing right next to her. That person should be holding 2 bouquets.
Yes.
The maid of honor, before you grab the bouquet, you fluff the train, you fluff the veil, and then you grab the bouquet.
And take your time. Don't feel like everyone's
have to be
looking at
rushed.
you. That is your best friend's day. Take your time. It doesn't matter if whoever's looking at you and you got a fat roll hanging out one side and this side. Fluff the dress and take your time. She will be so appreciative, and that is why she chose you to be her maid of honor.
Yeah.
So fluff her dress, fluff her veil, and then grab the bouquet.
And then make sure you give it back to her at the end.
Please,
So that
because
she
the
can-
bride will forget.
She
I
will.
almost forgot. I mean, I know
She
that for a
will.
fact.
She will. Talking really quick about ceremony music. So a lot of people will ask this question. So typically you do need like prelude music. This is the music that every one of your guests is walking out to. So this is the music that's usually playing that 30 minutes prior to ceremony time. Then you have an official like ceremony song. This is when the ceremony starts, and you usually have either your officiant walking out, or the officiant says, hey, this is an unplugged ceremony. Then the groom walks, or the families walk. This is when the actual ceremony starts. So then typically you don't need another song until the bride walks out. Some people are doing that. I think it's too much.
I did,
to be
and
honest.
it was honestly, it was chaotic. in my
It's
opinion.
always chaotic. I've never really seen it go smoothly. Even with a DJ, it's still like you're waiting and you're having to pause, and it's just the flow of it doesn't go.
and the cuts of songs.
And then especially if you have live music, I've had one woman who like she was like flipping through like pages trying to figure out what. And I was like, this is insane. This is so awkward. Like it's not going smoothly at all. And so yes, I would highly recommend just sticking with like the ceremony song and then switching, giving the bride her moments. And then you need the recessional song where everyone recesses from so this is when you get announced as Mr. and Mrs. for the first time and everyone cheers, and then you recess to a song. And then really it's just your intro song, your dance, your first dance, your mom and dad, your son and daughter, whatever, those kind of dances. And then usually a private last dance if you want one.
Oh, there's so many
that's
songs that go into a wedding.
But for
just not
ceremony,
really
you
good.
really only need like 3.
You really do. Don't feel like you need one for every.
Honestly, I don't.
I
love
did,
it.
but don't feel like you do. Because it was honestly kind of stressful.
Another little tidbit for ceremonies is the bouquets. The bouquets need to be sitting in water the majority of the day so that they are
Yes.
like vibrant and lovely and lively and all the things and great for photos. But you want to be taking them out like a few minutes prior and then just having some paper towel handy. Usually your coordinator, planner, somebody should be designated to do this for you. But they're dabbing the bottoms of them. Like girls are getting in like satin dresses or more like these like materials that you can see
thicker,
water
yeah.
stains.
Wait, I've never thought about that.
So right before the ceremony, you do want to be dabbing those bouquets
That's a
to
good
make sure there's no water marks on dresses.
That's
So
a good tip.
And then guys, take everything out of your freaking pockets.
Take everything out of your pockets.
Your keys,
Dear
your cell
God.
phone, your dip, your freaking
Zen packs.
Zen. Like, what are we doing? The Zen packs. I want to freaking.
You can do that after the ceremony.
Like, I think you're gonna survive a 20-minute ceremony without a Zen, okay? But when in Briar, take it out of
everything
your
out.
freaking pocket. I'm over it. And it looks shitty in pictures. It really does.
does.
Like, there's just bulkiness. I'm like, no, dude.
Another thing, officiant needs to make an announcement for the family members to stay after the ceremony. They don't need to go to cocktail hour. They need to stay, knock out all the family photos because it's a pain in the butt to do anyways. And it's so long if you don't have it laid out correctly or have them stay. You're having to wrangle Uncle Joe
Gosh.
and
as soon as they go to that bar line,
Aunt
y'all,
Sally.
it's painful to get them back. Just make a little announcement. Hey, everyone can go enjoy cocktail hour at this point, but for all immediate family and extended family, please stick around for a few minutes. We're going to take photos, and then provide your photographer a must-have shot list.
With the shot list.
That way they have like Susie Joe and Bobby Lee, and they can just quickly knock that out. You don't want to be spending a ton of time on family photos. They're just quick snippets. So it's like the quicker you can get through that, then you can get on to like bride and groom, lovely.
The faster you
sunset
knock
photos.
that out, the quicker it's done.
And quicker you can get back to your party if you are rejoining, because that's a big one too.
Grooms, bring an extra shirt.
Oh my gosh, this is such a good tip, especially right
in
now.
the summer.
It's so hot, but even non-summer months, like if you have a big guy or somebody who just sweats a lot, you are taking so many photos. You have your jacket on. It would just be nice. Like the girls are switching into a new dress. Like switch into a new shirt.
Bring
Get you
a
a
new
freshie.
shirt. Get you a new
It can
one.
be identical. It can be bedazzled, whatever you want. But I would just have a second shirt. That is a good tip for
And
sure.
it's not just for the reception. I feel like some people do that just to switch into for the reception. But if it's in the summer and you're standing through that
might
whole
need to.
ceremony, you are like profusely sweating, I'm assuming. And if you're taking more photos after the ceremony, you're gonna
hugging
need
people, you a little, right? Maybe bring some deodorant. Real good tip.
Yeah.
Well, I think we are tipped out, baby girl.
I think we
Also,
are.
I'm out of wine, so we gonna end this episode real quick.
Yes.
Like, we appreciate y'all tuning in. We hope that this helped, and we hope that your ceremony runs so smoothly. If you guys
Yes.
ever have questions about timelines or anything that goes into the ceremony, please reach out to us. We want to help you. We want to make sure that your day is beautiful and stress-free and as seamless as possible. So reach out to us. You can obviously reach out to us on Instagram. Our Instagram tag is RSVP_thanks_podcast. Is it podcast?
Pod.
Pod?
Pod.
Okay. Well, we'll look that up. We'll put it in the show notes. Reach
We'll
out to
link
us
it
there.
below.
You can also DM us. You can also reach out to us on our Facebook group. That's RSVP Thanks Podcast, Wedding Podcast. And then TikTok, RSVP Thanks. We want to hear your like stories. We want to hear your questions. Like keep sending them over to us. If you don't feel comfortable calling the hotline, just send them anonymously or whatever, and we'll keep you anonymous.
But if you want to call the hotline, you can call 320-558-RSVP. And you can literally ask us anything. Ask
I'll
us any
never
questions.
Get over it that you probably don't know your husband's number by heart, and you know this number by heart.
320-558-RSVP. Good thing I have his contact. Hey, but plug us into your contact. 320.
You just call the hotline if you ever go to jail, and I just answer like, "Oh, got you."
Hey, Lindsay, it's me. Some drama here. Seriously, call us. Call us with any drama that you have. Even if you're in jail and want to call us as your get free, get out card.
Honestly, we'll answer and we'll bail you out. Also, subscribe to the podcast. We are loving doing this. We want to continue to do this. We don't have sponsors yet, but we'd love for you to subscribe and like us so that we can continue to do it.
100%.
So,
And as always, RSVP.
RSVP. Thanks.
Thanks.